Now, nothing against Mick Foley. I didn't have to prostitute my body and throw myself, over the coals into the fire and the glass to make $1. I decided to train and go another way.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. Let's get into this mail. I'll try and talk faster. I've had a couple people mention when they do reviews or they casually mention my channel, like, yeah, Perch, it's pretty good. I mean, the stuff there is all right. I do have to watch him at like 1.52x speed because he talks very, very slowly. Really? I mean, that hurts to hear, man. That's like the only burn that's landed over the last, because I hate people who talk slow. Like the ADD part of me is like, I can't do it anymore. You gotta speak up. You gotta go faster. This is killing me right now. Every second that this goes by. And then, but if I'm doing that, oh my God, now I'm putting others through that torture. That's terrible. 5 years of people calling me a worthless SJW fin sitting cuck. Never landed, but too slow. That landed. Anyway, let's read this mail. This mail says, hey there, Perch. I have a question about how comics can become more successful and more popular, more specifically, what you would do to enable that. P.S. I'm enjoying the slow merge of yourself and Zach. Once upon a time, it seemed like you were bitter rivals. Two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin mean the same thing, not a different, not or try. I think you mean nemesis. Anyway. Two sides of the same coin. But now I'm finding that his viewpoint sounds more like yours, and you seem to have let your hair down. Let your hair down. Now you seem to let your hair down or talking more your mind. What do you think has caused this? Please let me know your thoughts on what would help the comic industry. Okay, and then another paragraph that the writer asked to keep confidential, so no problem. First off, I don't know. I still listen to not very many YouTube videos. So I don't know if Zach has morphed into me. Is he also slow? Do you have to listen to him at 2 speed as well? I don't know. And am I morphed into him? I don't know. Is it morph gay? That's what X-Men 97 supposedly told us. I'm not sure. But I caught one piece of his, something he was saying that I wish I would have said myself. I like every now and then, when somebody says something, you're like, fuck, I should have made that point. It was about, he's talking about kind of YouTubers, and there are the I don't like these terms, so they mean less and less and less every day, but the SJW and anti-SJW side fighting with each other. And basically it's like it's an expression that I've seen a lot lately. The star of the Acolyte said it, Ryan Johnson said it. I've several people have used this same exact phrase, that the toxic fandom has run rampant over whatever it is, Star Wars, comics, whatever it happens to be, cosplaying, cons, etc. And Zach then made comments like, hey, you've seen these people. Nobody's running rampant. Nobody's running rampant. Nobody's running over anything. And yes, that is absolutely true. I don't know, just the idea. I'm trying to picture like the way we're finally going to settle this beef between all these people who all are shrill and annoying, is that we're going to have a race. It's going to be a Running Man. Well, that wasn't actually that much running, but it's going to be like The Long Walk, that old Stephen King story from a long time ago. We're going to make them walk. And then whoever wins and isn't shot, along the way because they can't walk any further, diabetes doesn't take them, that person's opinion will rule. What will Star Wars be? Who can survive? We're just going to go with that. I don't know. I found that funny. I don't know if his viewpoint same mine, or vice versa. My suspicion is exhaustion would be the reason behind some of that. Just you get tired. What's funny is you can love something, you can hate something, but as long as it's new, it tends to be fairly entertaining. You tend to more or less be into it. But at the second it stops feeling new, the second it feels like you're watching the same thing for the 5,000th time, the second the second it goes back to the well for the same old plot, whether it's the same old movie where the same old shit's going down with the same old protagonist and the same old demographics of of the audience, and the same old playing to modern sensibilities, and the same old dumbass modern jokes that Joss Whedon incorporates into fucking everything back before he was canceled. Or maybe it's the same old critique and the same old it's gone woke and the same old this person, I've got an insider. Somebody said this recently the other day. It's like, well, I've got an insider that says that Marvel is actually stepping back from a lot of the SJW stuff. Bitch, people have been saying that now for 8 years. 8 years. It's a cycle. Somebody says that. Fast forward 3 months. Like, this is the most woke shit ever. Did you see She-Hulk's ass shaking with Megan Thee Stallion? Did you see that fucking woke shit? Did you see it? And then 3 months later, yeah, it didn't make any money. So they're like, Kevin Feige's like, God damn it, put some tits in there. No more woke shit. And then it's like, oh, here comes the Acolyte. It's like, oh, I know that's Star Wars logo. Whatever. All I know is Kathleen Kennedy still has a job. And they're still moving forward with Ironheart. Apparently, I guess. I don't know. Who cares, right? Maybe so. Anyway, people get tired of the same old shit. It actually is, you can get excited when it's something that truly is new and terrible because it's new. New tends to be, new is better. Same old and terrible is kind of like, meh. But new and terrible generates passion. New and wonderful also generates passion. Anyway, it's either part of your veil and the more interesting part, for sure. What would I do for comics? I think there's a lot of ideas. We've talked about the price. We've talked about distribution channels. I think those things are all valid. Talked about a legitimate, real marketing strategy. But for the actual comics themselves, you're going to need to solidify the base. And when I say the base in this case, I don't mean the customers. I don't mean a demographic. I mean your bread and butter characters. Spider-Man needs to have a good run. A somewhat new, somewhat fresh. Doesn't have to be the best in the world. Doesn't have to be excellent. It just needs to be good. There's an expression that's going around corporate America right now saying, here's how you go from startup to good to great. And a lot of companies pat themselves on the back by like, we're on the journey from good to great. We got to good, and now we're going to great. Well, a lot of what they say is, the way you go from good to great is that your good is solid, that it's foundational, that everything is really stable, that you can just, with your eyes closed, drunk, nail good. You can nail it. And if you have that, where without any thought, without any effort, you can get to good, then you're ready to shoot for great. But you gotta be able to effortlessly be good. And right now, when you think of a lot of comics, they're not at that stage. It's not effortless to be good. A lot of comics are forgettable. If you look at the current relaunch of the X-Men, the Friend of the Ashes, it's not bad and good. A lot of people get generous, like, well, the Gail Simone one isn't too bad. I mean, it's not good. And a lot of the others are worse than that. They're further down. So you've got to get to good. What you need to do is be able to say, and there's a couple examples that are good. I think Superman right now is good. I don't know if it's effortless or not, but it feels good. I guess it's not effortless because it does feel like they could fuck it all up in a matter of weeks if they needed to, but it's there. The Chip Zdarsky Batman, it's not good. It's still a little bit too wacky. Now, by the way, you may be listening to this going, hey, I love that title right now. That's cool. And good for you. But we need more of you, and there aren't more of you. And so therefore, your base is not stable. But all effort, they're like, you need to tirelessly, no sleep, sweating, stressing, how to get your base to good. You need your base to be good. Once your base is good, then I think you can start building from there. Then you can start doing some of the experimental stuff and everything else. But right now, with a variety of miniseries, with just kind of random concepts going on, and let's do different universes, and let's do different, it's not, we're not at just solid base good, which means a solid, again, doesn't have to be gangbusters, but a legitimately reasonable, good X-Men title, Avengers title, Spider-Man title, Captain America title, Batman title, Wonder Woman title, Superman title. It's a big ask. I'm not saying this is easy, but what does comics need right now? It needs that. It needs the core recognizable characters to be good. Again, don't need to be great. just good, which means a few new ideas, reasonable effort, art that is just not complete dog shit. You don't need to have Art Adams on every title. You just need to have it be, solid. Dan Moore is a hell of a great artist. He's great. But you don't need Dan Moore on everything either. You just need it to look reasonable, and you need to attempt to tell a good story. Go with, don't go for subverting expectations. Just go with, relatively new idea executed good. That's where you're at. And then you build from there. But comics, the focus right now, if you're an editorial, if you're in the big two, it should be, hey, how do we get the base feeling really, really solid? So maybe the first questions you have is, what is the base? What is our base? Once you know that, move from there. But that's what comics needs. It needs that base to just be solid. It needs that base to the perception, at least, that, hey, is this title great? It's good. It's good. If I have extra money, I'll buy it. That's what they need to have there. I would say it's a hard bar, but it's also a low bar. I mean, it's hard work to get there, but that is the baseline. Once you have that, you can build from there. Anyway, that's what comics needs, and otherwise, it needs some action in it. That's why I posted that video about how the new Warriors book it was just blah. It wasn't awful. It definitely wasn't good. It wasn't great. It was just kind of there. That's what's needed. Not that comic. Getting away from that. To be clear. No, we don't need blah. We need something that inspires passion. That's what's going to get the attention. Thanks for listening.
For Hulk Hogan to say that, I think is a lie, and I think it's kind of cruel. And I think if Hulk Hogan were to have wrestled me in his career, that he would sound more or less like a whiny girl in a porno film saying, not so fast and not so hard.